That CDX token, we the ones chosen. Every stake, every year, while I stay golden. Codex Club, AI mind focus, it's an anthem. CDX got them frozen.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Club Codex. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got some important information to bring to you, the audience. Memes. They save Solana, but why not Ethereum? They're killing Ethereum. They're killing our boy Vitalik. Just look at the numbers. The former SBF chain Solana has been reborn as the pump.fun circus, with inflows chopping the chart day after day. Meanwhile, ETH continues to languish and underperform just about everything. Why isn't Ethereum capturing the same mimetic energy? Well, you can thank the L2s, specifically Base. Base is a juicy leech attached to the world computer and has sucked up all that mimetic energy, and things are about to get bloody. So, how can you profit off of this? Well, it's kill or be killed on Base. So if you don't want to be exit liquidity for desperate ETH whales, you better stick around, because we're going to show you how to thrive, survive, and realize your destiny here on Club Codex. Let's get started, guys. Let's get into the news.
Breaking news, gotta drop the bomb. How the school steps, mom was prom.
Whoa! How did Charles get in here?
Ray Charles, thank you for joining us today. Beavis, thank you for bearing with us with your cute little sweater. How are you two gentlemen doing this fine Monday?
Great.
Good.
Doing great. I just ate a sandwich and 2 cookies. So
Okay.
I'm feeling powered up. We're back on calories. That's how you know the market's good.
I love that. Last time we talked, I think you were living off of what, like some sort of exotic Chinese supplement you were getting for pennies on the dollar. Was that right?
That's right. Yep.
And now you're
I was
upgraded to
eating 4
the prison
grains
meal.
of dried rice per day.
Oh, wow. And now you've got a whole sandwich and 2 whole cookies, a prison meal, a good old-fashioned government brown bag. I love to hear it. Charles, what about you? What are you snacking on? Minge? Is that what your shirt says? Mange?
No, it says
Oh,
Mange
sorry.
dans mon hood. It's a burger place in Montreal, and it's really good. And they have really good smash burgers. So I'm snacking on those. Generally, I snack on nuts. I like nuts. I eat a lot of nuts.
Very interesting thing to say.
Cashews,
Very interesting thing to say.
I
We have a squirrel in the studio with us.
I didn't mean to say it like that. I do like, yeah. And apples and peanut butter. Also a big snack of mine.
Okay.
Isn't that riveting?
That's
Nice.
awesome. You're just
That's
like
nice and healthy.
a squirrel.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Canadian living. Although I'm a little bit surprised, the burgers, kind of an interesting choice for you. Well, guys, we're going to have a great show today. We got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Mainly, we're going to be talking about Ethereum. We're going to be talking about Base. We'll talk a little bit about Solana as well. We're going to be talking about the layout of Base, what's going on, what might be coming there, how to get prepared, because I think it's kind of going to be a hot spot here, especially considering our private internal conversations here at Club Codex that you guys are not privy to, okay? But I also wanted to say this. We're going to have a little game we're going to play later. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Stick around, guys. You're going to love it. Well, first thing I want to get your opinions on as professionals in this industry is a statistic I saw that was a little troubling here. Maybe not troubling. It's just kind of crazy. Let me throw it up here on the screen. Now, it's a little big, a little hard to see here. But if you come in, this is the DEX volume on DeFi Llama, right? We're looking at volume of all these decentralized exchanges all across crypto. And one thing you'll notice here, volume, 24 hours. Who's at the top here?
Wow.
Radium. Solana. I was talking to Charles with this about the show. He was speechless. He was aghast. He was sick to his stomach. He was beginning to puke. Look at this, dude. 4.18 billion through Radium. Have you ever used Radium? It sucks.
That's a third of all the volume in DeFi today.
I think most of that goes through Jupiter, not Radium. It's like Solana's funny because the the tech is great, but the front ends are really hard to program. It's hard to get a transaction through just because of how the consensus and how proof of history works. So there's like Radium, Jupiter, and Jito that all kind of work together in tandem to push these transactions through. And the funny thing is, to get a transaction through, you basically need to accept like insane MEV front running via Jito. So they've created like this insular maximum extractive economy that is winning them the game. So hard to hate on it.
Well, it's completely dominating, like Charles implied, all of DeFi. It'd be one thing if it was just a third of. What is this song? Where's this?
Sorry, that was
from?
my dishwasher.
Your ringtone?
I was like, is there someone playing a tin whistle in Charles's house?
I wasn't sure if that was like, I'm playing like a sad little tune because you're whining about Solana's volume, but yeah, no, I mean, it's
How
just
many?
an insane amount of
Can you look at the
volume.
fees? Can you scroll to the right, Corval, and look at the fees that are being generated?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you might need to zoom out.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Cumulative volume, 33%.
Oh, they maybe don't have fees.
Well, let's see if maybe we go down to Radium, we can maybe see.
I thought I saw them there somewhere.
This guy zoomed in too much.
I think what I would be wondering about is how good this flow is. Oh, in the columns drop down. See if no, nothing.
Wow.
Because I remember for a while there was a lot of wash trading of stable coins on Solana, like an insane amount. And I would wonder like how much of this volume is really productive.
Well, I anticipated this, Beavis. I anticipated your cope, and I have another stat here that's going to pop your little bubble, dude, and it's going to make you suicidal. So this is from Cointelegraph, but Sol leads all blockchains in daily net inflows. So if you look at this, look at Ethereum down here.
Oh my god. Well, Ethereum, that's an insignificant percent of the Ethereum.
Okay.
AUM.
But look at Solana here, dude.
That is a really big percent of Solana's AUM, though. Well,
yeah.
So a huge amount of inflows coming into Solana. Not a whole lot going into Ethereum. A lot leaving Ethereum.
I mean, Beavis makes a good point, though. These should be percentages because the Ethereum bar is that large because every other network on there has a fraction of their TVL. Ethereum has built like I don't know what it is, but it's like 100 billion on their network. I think they have 60 or 70 billion in stablecoins alone. So if there's 50 million in outflows, that is a much larger dent on any other network on this.
And I guess as well, like Ethereum is the basically on-ramp for crypto, period, in a lot of ways, now sharing some of that responsibility for Base. So anytime someone is trying to bootstrap their network, generally they're drawing from Ethereum liquidity. So I think just inherently, like the liquidity on Ethereum right now, given the current L2 roadmap, is meant to be drawn out. And obviously they want to bring people on, but a lot of people are being onboarded now directly to L2s or directly to Solana, which is a really, really great on-ramp right now, just because Ethereum's kind of expensive. And I have maybe an unlimited supply of bag holder cope. But I think like this is a very misleading chart, and it's meant to be misleading for engagement purposes. But and I'm not also not to say Ethereum is
yeah. If you haven't been watching, if you haven't been keeping up with your club codex, this is a pattern that has emerged: is that Beavis does have a lot of cope for Ethereum. He loves Ethereum. I think he might be married to Vitalik with how much water he's willing to carry for this dead chain, dude. All right, but to your point, I have a little other piece of data here that is a little more favorable to Ethereum. We're painting a picture here, right? And so far, what we've sketched out right now is, Solana God mode right now. Solana is on top of the world. Lots of volume, lots of users, lots of inflows. There's a meme coin for every grain of sand in the Sahara at this point, okay? Ethereum kind of tapering off. But I also want to point out while this chart is a little misleading, it's kind of impressive. Base is number 2 there. I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about Base as much as I am hearing them talk about Solana, but Base is generating some energy. Base is capturing some heat right now. Taylor Hill, smoking that ether, copium. Yes, sir, dude. And I got a little more you can put in your pipe here, okay? So a lot of people talking about ETH, ETF inflows and outflows now. Little quick reminder, Bitcoin got into ETF, took a little while. Then we started seeing massive inflows. People are saying that's a big part of this bull push, not just the Trump effect, but also the ETFs being there, right? Your grandpappy buying Bitcoin through Michael Saylor. Meanwhile, Ethereum had kind of lukewarm performance, but it hasn't been that bad, actually. Now, there's some outflows today. Well, not today, but last trading day, the 15th, and also on the 14th. But I kind of wanted to point out it has been like steady green, baby. You know, we're still seeing net total inflows for the month so far, or since the ETFs have gone live.
Yeah. My pet narrative, though, and
up.
I will stand on this, is if you're investing in the ETF product, you're leaving a 4% opportunity cost on the table in the form of ETH staking. So right now, the ETH ETFs are bad products. They're inherently bad products, and we're seeing these inflows with an inherently bad product. It's a product with essentially negative 4% APR. So I think like right now, what we're seeing are the people forced to buy ETH via these ETFs. We're not seeing any organic adoption. We're just seeing, okay, I run a fund and this fund mandates that I cannot hold cryptocurrencies just in a cold wallet or spot, or I can't interface with a custodian. I need to do it old school with Mr. BlackRock himself. So I think like where ETH can get some serious pickup is once we see staking as part of the product. And I mean, frickin' as wacky and funny as it's been watching it unfold, the next president of the United States has a frickin' ETH DeFi project, you know? And not to say Trump even knows ETH staking exists, but certainly the people in his orbit do. And certainly there's a lot of exposure in that group. So my cope until staking is allowed in the ETF and we see zero net inflows for another 5 months, that will be my golden cope. And once we see zero net inflows and it inevitably flops, I'll invent a new invincible cope that's far enough away, yet close enough that I can use it as the carrot.
Wow.
For
You're really giving away the recipe there, Beebus. I like to hear it. Yeah, we're gonna kick the can. He's gonna kick the can down the road if it ever comes to it. No, but I think you made a good point here. The ETH product itself.
I'll tell you what. My cope has been obliterated, and I have capitulated to all of the bearish hate, and I have officially swapped all of my ETH to Cardano. Because Charles is in the White House, baby. Let's go. He's got my name. He's making decisions.
Oh,
and I'm now an ADA bag holder.
Wow,
no, I'm not really.
That's awesome.
I
mean, I think that you know we'll freaking get there. And the thing is, like, ETH is also really liquid. It's like Bitcoin is primarily like. The market is managed by prop firms, market makers, etc. There's not these huge swaths of liquidity in AMMs that there is for ETH. So you have billions of ETH being used as counter assets, and the liquidity for ETH is insane. Like, you need to frickin' be able to lift a neutron star off the ground to pump ETH, and you need to be able to do insane amounts of arbitrage against these centralized exchanges, which there are people willing to do. It's just like, I think, and I'm not certain on this, so don't quote me, but I would say ETH is probably a much more liquid asset, especially by market cap, than Bitcoin. That's my estimation. I may be totally off base because Bitcoin is really heavily traded in centralized venues, but liquidity in centralized venues isn't the same as liquidity in AMMs. So maybe DeFi needs to explode and be gone forever for ETH to truly pump.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So you're saying maybe it's DeFi holding the bag down because it's providing too much liquidity for trading. And
Perhaps.
as we know, deeper liquidity results in more accurate pricing generally, but
I mean,
also
not
less
always.
volatile pricing.
Like, I guess certainly less volatile, but like if you think that cryptocurrencies have absolute valuations, um, and that ETH should be priced against some benchmark, then maybe it's not great. But I think in a lot of ways, the value of a cryptocurrency is directly a function of its liquidity. Because if these things are stores of value, if these things are commodities, the whole point is that they're extremely liquid and can be traded all over the place. So, I think ETH is very valuable in that maybe for its market cap, there's potentially more ways to liquidate it, more ways to access it, more ways to do X, Y, Z, the other, and maybe that will benefit the asset long term. And right now, Bitcoin liquidity, we're seeing liquidity as the bottleneck as people are racing in trying to buy, and there isn't like a ton of liquidity. Like the joke is OTC desks always run out of coins, which I don't know if that's always true. I don't know if that's ever true. But liquidity is very consistently, I think, a bottleneck for Bitcoin, and that's why we see these violent moves upward. It's the ultimate meme coin.
I see. I see. It does make sense. Not a lot of people wanting to spend their Bitcoin that often. Now, that's an interesting. I say that because I wanted to segue into this a little bit here, which is that L2s, right? L2s provide a lot more, or supposedly going to provide a lot more demand pressure for Ethereum because you need to use Ethereum to transact on any of them. So while we saw Base up there #2, while there was a lot of outflows for Ethereum, all those inflows to Base is still kind of offsetting that, isn't it, a little bit? Because presumably people are going to be transacting on Base. They're going to need Ethereum to do it. It's not as simple. It's not so simple with Solana is kind of what I'm getting at here. Solana is a network and it has a token.
Yeah,
For
I
instance,
mean, this goes back to the, sorry to cut you off, but this goes back to what we were talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we were looking at that guy who was posting about revenues, like network revenues, and how mainnet is just falling short of Solana by a large margin. And that's, he was saying this is why ETH is just going to keep going down and Solana is going to keep going up. But we were talking about the value of ETH, the asset, not being directly, like not only being tied to the revenue that mainnet is generating, like that. To me, that's even less of a factor than network effects and like the lindiness of ETH across all of DeFi. And so the like Base sucking up a lot of volume and capital leaving mainnet and going to L2s. Even if, like these L2s aren't really generating a lot of revenue for ETH, I just think like the lindiness of the asset and just like the mind share that it holds for, hundreds of thousands of users is what gives ETH a ton of value. And then obviously the security aspect of the actual L1. So yeah, and I mean, not to be a hater, but people seem to have totally forgotten that Solana has like literally gone down multiple times. So I don't know anything about.
I mean, I think of Solana as like almost like less of a blockchain in a traditional sense. Like it's not trying to be Ethereum; it's trying to be a product in its own right. So Ethereum is like driven by the mission, and their development is influenced by the mission being, indestructible financial rails. Whereas Solana is more so driven by the product vision being, fast chain, and like fast chain is great. It's not necessarily cheap chain anymore. People are finding out that it's actually quite expensive to transact, especially when, there's the expense of the chain, and then there's also the expense of getting MEVs. And depending on what app you're using, you just get totally canned. So, I would say they're just like different things. And I think Solana is like, they're just doing a really good job, because when crypto's hot, they want people want a product focus. They want the shining North Star. They don't want this big ephemeral ecosystem. They just want to say, oh, here are the KPIs. Here's the product. They're being met. They're being met. They're being met. Let's just keep it going.
Would you say then that for Solana, like Solana itself is like the product, and kind of like the features of Solana would be like the apps built on Solana? Those are like kind of more like typical products. But with Ethereum, it's almost like the L2s are more of the product, right? Ethereum is like a security thing that is being built off of. You're getting like actual products.
Yeah, I guess the issue is, and this is kind of getting into the nitty gritty details. It's like Ethereum, so that L2 companies could blossom, Ethereum kind of sacrificed basically its biggest source of revenue, which for a long time was these L2s validating their data on Ethereum. With the implementation of EIP 4844 or proto-dank sharding, they essentially took that and they were like, hey, we'll do this at the consensus level so that you can pay way less money and post way more data so that these L2s can proliferate. And L2s have proliferated and they've been doing amazing. But what Ethereum loses is the cash flow. And so you have, for the past 2 years, this whole world of speculators that have gotten used to ETH as this fee driver, as this cash flow monster. And now ETH is like, hey, we're not going to be the cash flow monster anymore. You guys have been crying about high fees all the time. So now fees are going to be a little more appropriate. ETH is going to be used for really high value transactions at the execution level. But we're going to reduce throughput, or rather we're going to enhance throughput for these high value transactions by treating L2s a little bit differently. And so what Ethereum gets out of that in the medium and long term is they get more moneyness. So if you look at Base, for example, all these Base inflows, what is the primary quote asset on Base? You'd think it was USDC, but no, it's ETH. ETH is paired with more assets than any other asset on Base. ETH is used as gas on Base. And so they're trading the kind of cash flow aspect of Ethereum for the more moneyness, the more, commodity focus, which I think is way stronger and has way more upside potential. But this kind of pivot is really awkward for people,
really
and
painful.
And you have, for example, like even like Justin Drake, which I don't know if he's a developer or what, but now he's getting on stage saying, oh, it's time to pivot, because everybody's feeling all this pressure because ETH isn't outperforming. And it's like, like count the yield in the equation, count all of the extras that ETH has on top. And I don't know if the ETH holder would necessarily be underperforming. If you're using ETH as intended in DeFi, you might be doing just fine. There's a lot of value extraction happening on ETH, a lot of financialization, and I don't know if it's all bad. I would even argue that most of it isn't bad. It's just a different type of asset. And people point at price and giggle and laugh because that's the easiest thing to speculate on. And a lot of people are just buying on Binance and aren't participating in DeFi. They aren't staking their ETH. They're not doing this, that, the other. So that's kind of the metric that people go by. And a lot of Ethereum maxis are kind of buying into that narrative and hating on ETH because, I don't know, it's part of their personality or something. But I generally, I don't go to a bar and lead with, I invest in Ethereum, by the way. I think normal people don't give a shit if you hold a coin that doesn't go up.
Yeah, honestly, such a good, what's the word? I guess representation of such a perfect example of how it's a different asset is me, like probably a ton of DeFi users, didn't actively choose to have ETH be a significant part of their portfolio or as much of their portfolio as it is now. But they just use DeFi. They just have ETH in a lot of places. And then one day they look at their portfolio and they're like, oh, crap, ETH is like 30% of my portfolio. How did that happen? And I'm not gonna sell it because it's just a hassle to like get, like I need ETH in these places. I need to pay gas. I want to LP in this pool. I just have a bunch of it. And it's not like one day I was like, I'm going to buy 30, I'm going to buy a bunch of ETH right now and just like have it.
Speak for yourself.
Like that
buddy.
is the, that is like the perfect sort of like encapsulation of like how it's not the same kind of asset as like a SOL or like some, that's like the lindiness effect demonstrated.
No, I agree with you. If you've been in crypto for any amount of time, you've been experimenting with anything in DeFi, you probably have like 1,000 or more dollars worth of ETH just spread out across wallets that you can't be asked to move just in case you need to do something on a network, right?
Yeah.
So I want to switch tact here a little bit because singing the praises of ETH, right, and all these different L2s. I kind of want to lead to this point here. Coinbase is the darling of U.S. crypto innovation. I'm sure Base will actually absorb a lot of SOL liquidity inflows. To this point, next topic I had for discussion was recently elected President Trump. He hasn't been formally sworn in yet, but he said in his policy Trump wants America to win crypto. So if you want America to win crypto, Coinbase would be the logical move, right? Coinbase, U.S.-based company. And where is Coinbase most active in DeFi? It is through Base, their own L2, right? Correct, guys? Am I right on the money here?
You're on the money.
I'm on the money here.
The name.
And so here we go. Wait, let me see if I can play this here. We made this wonderful meme for you. StreamYard makes it a little difficult to load this, but this is kind of what we're seeing unfolding here. The biggest winner here may likely be Base, right? I'm just going to loop
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
all right.
nice.
I'm going to loop that in here. So is this accurate? Do you think that is accurate? Do you think Coinbase is going to be winning like big on Base with Base under this new administration? Are they going to win outsized, like by an outsized amount as a result? How involved is Coinbase with Base? Do they got big plans?
I can
go for
kick
it,
it off.
Charles.
I think Base, like, I mean, Coinbase isn't involved in like the day-to-day L2 operations or like the Base, DeFi ecosystem operations. There's a lot of sort of crossover with people who work but I think Coinbase is focused on like tools for onboarding onto Base and just making blurring the line between this is Base and this is Coinbase, this is off-chain, this is on-chain. I think they're just trying to make it seamless between, okay, use your Coinbase balance to trade on Aerodrome or whatever. Like you can do stuff like that. I don't think they're involved in like, the DeFi.
Well, isn't that the most ideal? Isn't that the most ideal thing?
Yeah,
because
totally.
Coinbase has the on-ramping on lock for the United States.
I mean, that's the way to go. I just think Base needs some more meme coins, and it needs some more fun DeFi things to do. I mean, Base DeFi is pretty cool. So much of it is lending. Like so much of TVL and Base is just sitting there, kind of just parking. It's just parked there. It's just literally like all the top protocols on Base are all lending, and it's people farming on Aerodrome. Their DeFi ecosystem could level up majorly, and I think they can if they get like a meme coin surge, some sort of narrative, like it's going to get even crazier.
Brian Armstrong,
their DeFi ecosystem has kind of a lot to be desired.
Fair point. Well, Brian Armstrong, Base is your temple, and Charles is Christ, and he's coming in and he's flipping up into those money changer tables. He doesn't want the lending in there anymore. Get it out of there. Get right with God. Get some more memes on there. And we're gonna get to the bottom of this whole meme coin thing here in a minute. But Beavis, how do you feel? You think that's a fair assessment? Coinbase handling the onboarding, but the DeFi kind of needing some work.
I mean, I think Charles and I have worked a lot with the Base ecosystem team, some of their product team. We've worked a lot with Optimism, and I think really like the thing that sets Base apart is they are truly treating the growth and development of Base as like a huge darling enterprise product of Coinbase. You know, this is like Base is Coinbase, Coinbase is Base. It's like they want it to be the same thing. And really, like, this is them vertically integrating. What they're doing isn't totally crazy. They've custodied assets on ETH for the longest time. They've managed ETH assets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now we're seeing, okay, here's this Coinbase coded blockchain with billions of dollars of USDC sitting on it. So they're using it to hold USDC assets. They're letting users interact using the Coinbase smart wallet. And I think really, like, their goal is to keep blurring the lines such that if you are developing a DeFi protocol on Base, you're effectively developing a Coinbase product. You're developing a product that Coinbase users can interact with, and you're enhancing the Coinbase platform. And to me, the biggest thing about Base, the number one thing about Base, is that they don't have a token. I would assume they don't ever want a token. Maybe they do, who knows? They certainly could, but at least for now, while there are no plans for a token, and they can operate on way longer time horizons than anybody. So let's say in the short to medium term, being 1 to 5 years, they don't plan on having a token. This means that if you are building on Base, inherently you are going to have a really high premium on whatever assets you issue, because attention isn't being split between here's the network asset that I'm going to hold and here's the beta I'm going to hold, because the only way to speculate on Base is through beta. And so you see people bidding aggressively on Arrow. You see people bidding aggressively on Base ecosystem coins. And this is value that would normally get sucked up by the native token. And, you know, where I see Base unfolding is really like, if Coinbase has their partners and their homies and their portfolio companies, whatever, continuing to add value on Base, pump value into Aerodrome, we feel it, and I think every builder in the space feels it. They've created like a black hole of liquidity. Like, if you are not on Base, you're paying an opportunity cost of not being on Base. It costs money to not build on Base right now, straight up. And that's what we found as an organization. And, you know, some people have asked us, hey, you know, what's with the sudden Base focus? And it's really like, you know, we've got maybe 4 or 5 products we're deploying on Base in the next 3 to 6 months. And if they even continue on this trajectory, like maybe half of the growth they experience. That was a really weird way of saying that. But if they can continue on this trajectory somewhat, then there's no competing. And Solana right now, their main insulating factor is just their meme coin market distribution. And they've done an awesome job of vertically integrating it as an ecosystem. So it's like, you know, the Jito, Jupiter, Radium, Pump Fund dynamic is insane. It's easily the best thing going on in crypto right now, the biggest money printer going on in crypto right now. And really, like, replicating that for Base in the short term is going to be really hard because they need the distribution. But in the medium term, like say between 1 and 2 years, of course, they're going to be able to capture this flow. If they're getting VCs and prop funds and market makers to pump millions of dollars into the Arrow token spot on chain, then certainly they're going to be able to get people buying meme coins on Base because they control a lot of the market. They're a market leader. You could argue they're the market leader, depending on how you value Binance. But it's really, for me, a matter of time. And Base kind of gives you the security and tech focus of ETH, and frankly, the UX of ETH, which I much prefer. Very, very solid, replicable, redundant. You know, it might be a little more expensive, but everything works great. And they're also giving you kind of the consumer focus a little bit of Solana.
Yeah. So the new flavor of Ethereum Hopium is Base Hopium, and it's a good one. It's a good strong.
Once ETH staking ships to the ETF and we get no inflows for a month, I'm going to pivot entirely to Coinbase Hopium.
Yeah, and the growth. I am so confident that the growth that Base has experienced is going to keep going because the liquidity, because how they got that growth is through like infrastructure and Coinbase partnerships, not through incentives. Like they don't do like grant programs. They don't have a token. The liquidity that's entered is so like sticky and steadfast compared to something like it's all business. It's just literally like they made good business decisions. So that's where it's not, oh, you know, we're Arbitrum, we pumped $100 million into the ecosystem this year. So obviously you're going to see some growth. That tends to be fleeting unless you back it up with like the foundation, which Base has already established that. So can you imagine if they came out with some huge, you know, DeFi incentive program or like launched a token? It would be nutty. It would be insane.
It'd be a madhouse.
Just like, yeah, they don't even have to do that to.
Well, Charles, that excited me. Charles, that excited me what you said, because that didn't even occur to me, but that is true. No token and this much success. Very, very exciting. Cool. One of the more exciting things you see in crypto is when a project.
Their Discord is hilarious.
Yeah.
Give us token now.
Yeah.
And they'll never get it.
I don't think it's people speculating.
I hope they never launch a token.
Yeah.
I hope they never launch a token. That would be so dope. That would be so awesome. Tokens just, I mean, tokens kind of ruin.
Watch what you say. Watch what you say there, buddy.
Sorry.
Careful. Careful. You're still in crypto. All right. Look, I feel like we could wax poetic about the beauty of Base all day, but we gotta keep this train moving because we got to come back to Base. We got to come back to Base and we got to get a little bit deeper into it. Before we do that, you know, Charles was so energetic. I think it's time for grab the chopper. Don't need to ask, Charles. Light him up, dude.
Hello. I thank you for not making me the only one on the screen. That's nice.
No worries. I'll put you up top though.
I love looking at your beautiful faces.
That's awesome.
Yeah, chapter alpha. Okay, so I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about was the start of Mode Season 3 with Ironclad. For all the Ironclad users, the Iron Chads in the audience, I know there's been some friction and some like difficulty with distributing the OP rewards that we've gotten for Season 3. It's really tough because OP is not bridgeable. It doesn't live on Mode. You have to go through some sort of rewards provider. And we've had some challenges, and the UX has been, less than ideal. So anyways, I'm looking forward to smoothing this out. The second vote, Epoch 2 vote, we got. Yeah, I don't want to name names. I'm not gonna.
Let's pass the buck real quick.
Epoch 2 vote, we got a lot of votes, and we have a lot of OP to distribute. This has only been a taste, so you can consider this kind of a trial run, because we also have over 30,000 OP from RPGF from a while ago that we have to distribute. So a lot of rewards still coming. Going to smooth out all the challenges and get a lot of these rewards into your hands. So remember to vote Ironclad and look forward to.
It's funny. We're kind of like, if you know that one Family Guy episode where he's fighting that old lady, and she keeps getting up over and over again. That's like our growth strategy. We're just the most invincible, high endurance company. So all of our competitors will just die, and we'll eventually be number one in all capacities.
I want to real quick. I want to throw this on the screen here from our community as we're talking about Mode. We're talking about Ironclad. Pepper Does Crypto did a great thread on Mode and Ironclad, how to use Ironclad, how to get the most out of it. So be sure to check that out. Pepper Does Crypto. Shout out. Little teaser here for you. He's one of the winners of this week's content creation giveaway.
Maybe to tie together Base and Ironclad, the ICL pool on Aerodrome is popping off, and we are on Impermax as well. if anyone knows who Imprimax is, they're a leveraged yield farmer farming protocol. So I'm
good amount of liquidity there too. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to be announcing this pretty quick. You can leverage your LP by borrowing ETH, creating more of the LP, etc. And you can also supply ETH at like 20% APR because there are a ton of farmers that are leveraging this LP. I'm really happy to see how quickly the ETH got snatched up. We were trying to lever our POL, and we're like in the chats with the Imprimax guys, and they're like, oh, there's some ETH there, and by the time we get around to trying to execute the transaction, it had already been scooped. So really good to see the demand from farmers. Airdrome farmers are absolute
they're
demons.
cracked out. That's the most.
They move quick.
Aerodrome is single-handedly probably like funding. Well, this is maybe in bad taste, but they're funding a whole drug cartel operation without coked out.
Oh my god,
farmers are.
This is live, man. We can't edit that out.
Sorry. No, Aerodrome farmers are dope. They're all awesome, and they don't use drugs. Probably
they're on top of it.
Impossible to say. Very cool. Charles, do you want to talk about mode and ICP still? I have
not really. Okay. Not really.
You don't. Charles had a funny observation, but
yeah,
we'll leave that to the audience to guess what that could be.
I'm happy to see mode moving in the right direction. I just want to see some more volume on the chain. That's pretty much. We were looking at volume stats for Solana and stuff, and I just think mode has a lot of room to grow.
Dude, volume is the most organic driver of revenue in the space.
Yeah.
And this goes back to why Base is a black hole. They have the freaking volume. Same with Solana. It's like right now, Solana and Base are the best things going on in crypto, period. They have the volume, they have the fees, and with that comes the organic growth of DeFi. They don't need the incentive. So kudos to them.
Right on. Well, back to Base. Let's go back to Base, guys.
Back to basics, you could say.
Yeah, let's go back to basics. There's also a wordplay we could do with it. Let's run this too. Because this is our headline here. We want to talk a little bit. We want to get into the Base ecosystem. We had a good comment, who are the strongest communities on Base? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out together, okay?
Let's do it.
A little bit of the lay of the land here. We go on to Base.
I do need to give I do need to preface this with a humble shout out to the Normilio community, of which I am a bag holder.
Beavis has already been bought.
So I'll get that out of the way. All right, we can maybe inject them into later conversations, but
we will.
There's my disclosure.
We will be taking a look at them. I just wanted to pull up Base here just to show what are the biggest guys here on Base. It's Aerodrome, it's Moonwell, it's Aave, Uniswap, Morpho. Base has pretty much everything you need. If you remember, Beavis and I did a show about a year ago where we went through. Was it you and me, Beavis, or was it me and Charles? I did a show with
you, of course. What the heck?
Well, we did one where we went through Base. We were looking at the protocols launching there right when it first started, and it was pretty funny stuff. We found Boobs Finance.
Oh no, maybe I think that was
clones of Boobs Finance. Now Base is really mature. They got a full-fledged DeFi ecosystem now here, right? Yeah. You got all the big apps.
Finance has unfortunately gone the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, I don't think it's there anymore. I think even if we were to try to do a similar thing where we go down through like the smallest protocols on Base and try to make fun of them, I think we'd probably be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Just because they've been kind of crowded out by a lot of like actual projects now. So,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really serious stuff going on at every scale. And the thing about Base is how deep the roster is. Like, how many protocols do you need to go down till you see less than 100K of TVL, and 100K of TVL is enough to service a lot of users at a small size with probably decent ROI. And that's what's exciting to me about Base.
Dude, hell, even 2Pay Tech has 5 million almost.
They got 2Pay Tech. They got Boobs Finance.
They got Friend Pets, which I'll be honest with you, I was playing a little bit earlier, and it was kind of fun. It was a little Tamagotchi thing. I kind of liked it. I
follow the Friend Pets guy, and he has a big chip on his shoulder, which makes me pretty bullish on Friend Pets.
Hey, Friend Pets guy, come on the show sometime. Look, someone hashtag Friend Pets at Friend Pets for me in the comments section. But no, yeah, I mean, to Beavis's point, you got to go down pretty far here to see something that is really small or out of the ordinary, you know, the real freak protocols. But if we're being honest, the main reason people are using crypto in general right now, not even just Base, is more for like this kind of stuff, like meme coins. Meme coins are hot on Base at the moment. There's a launch pad I was looking at. Now I can't find it again. But yeah, there's launch pads launching on Base at the moment. This is one of the meme coins that I found, Elon RWA. But let's go to let's see here. Yeah, just Base deck screener. Let's check out the big ones here. Because this is what people want to see, dude. People want to know what we think about the memes, okay? Now, I picked out 5 memes here, and I want us to rank them. I want us to audit them for our community, okay?
All right.
You guys cool with that?
Yep.
All right. And if you have any others,
my bags.
if anyone has any other meme coins they want us to add on here on Base, or if we find any on our journey through, let me know. Okay, so these are the kind of big ones I was seeing here. I was seeing Elon RWA token. Okay, I was seeing Brett. I was seeing one Beavis mentioned called "Got That Dog in Me," which I'll be honest with you, I really don't like that name. I don't like it at all.
It's an awful name, awful brand, but I'll explain the vibes that I got when I dove in.
We've got Normilio here, and we've got Keyboard Cat, which is an ancient meme. So this was made by obviously someone probably in their late 70s. I don't know. So
rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, rest in peace to the launcher of Keyboard Cat.
Oh, no,
wait,
Keyboard Cat died, dude. Yes,
yeah.
Keyboard Cat died. You don't remember that? That was the first meme cat death that I had to cope with.
That's so brutal.
Stronger.
That's so brutal. I wish StreamYard had a better way of me being able to show this stuff. I'm about to do a lot of this flip-flopping back and forth. But let's do like one last scan here. If you see anyone that sticks out to you here, metrics-wise or name-wise, let me know and I'll grab it.
On Base right here.
These are all Base meme coins.
I like Epilepsy Square.
This one up here.
Cool.
This one seems dangerous. Market cap at 254,000.
Uh-oh.
How do you even do this? How do you even
filter by? Oh God. Okay. No, dude.
Oh my God. I like Miggles. What is Miggles? Mr. Miggles.
Yeah. You need to have Miggles on the board.
Okay.
Miggles looking pretty good.
Dude, this is like this is practically the official meme of Coinbase. Thoroughly sanitized by the Coinbase marketing department.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, they got everything they need here. They've got a little kitty.
Yeah, I
mean,
they basically created a bunch of content about this cat, Mr. Miggles, and then in order to advertise the benefits of Web3, they open sourced all the content and just handed it over to the Base community, and it quickly spawned.
So this is Miggles.
Indeed.
Now, one criticism I have, okay, and again, we want to focus on vibes here. We did this last time, and we were pretty successful, I think.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn here, but last time Beavis and I did a meme coin ranking, we called SPX before Murad, dude. We front ran Murad. We could have made everyone millionaires, but we didn't. We don't do that here. We just assess vibes.
We make everyone poor.
We assess vibes and we make you poor because that's how you should be as an artist. You know, the vibes are the most important thing, and I want to go through it. So when we're talking about these guys, let's try to keep our language to the aesthetics, the vibe of the community. Is it funny? Yeah. Is it cute?
No market structure, I guess.
We'll look a little bit at the chart, but we're just going to look to see, is it completely scam looking? Not like we're not going to try and make any price predictions or anything like that. Okay. So let's get into this. Mr. Miggles, first critique I won't have of this is, and it's going to be one for almost all the Base ones, is I don't like this blue, dude. I don't like this, man. It's too bright. I guess the Coinbase one, but enough is enough. Okay.
Yeah. I don't like the merch. Why are they selling merch? And they called it drip also, which is a huge red flag.
Oh, pigment, garment dyed hoodie.
Yeah, that's weird.
That would have been drip 10 years ago. Now you can get pigment dyed hoodies on the street corner. All right. That's what I have to say about that.
Meet the fabulous partners of Mr. Miggles with their whiskers
Yeah.
twitching and paws tapping. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of the blockchain and making the Web3 world a meownificent place. Yeah, this was like, Coinbase had their little mitts all over this, didn't they?
Yeah.
This is weird because it's like the top half, like the first page, it's like, okay, this looks like a meme coin page. But then you scroll down and it's like you progressively get more and more Coinbase-y. And suddenly now they're talking about all their partners and like the tokenomics. It's like, this is not what a meme coin page.
Here's a problem that we face constantly. Every founder faces it. No, it's like you get obsessed with alignment. I need to do this so that this person that is bigger than me is happy with me. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, there's a direct ceiling when you're alignment maxing, and that is a small percentage of whatever the thing you're aligning yourself with is. And so if you're like, oh, I want to be the best X on base, it's like, no, you want to be the best X. All right. You want to be the best meme coin. You don't want to be the best meme coin on base. You're not even supposed to give a shit about the blockchain. So what Mr. Miggles is doing is they're trying to sell beta. They're trying to sell Coinbase beta. They're trying to sell base chain beta. And you know what? I ain't buying it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
it's like,
dude.
Have some individuality, have some personality. That's all.
Yeah, they've completely sold whole to base. Pardon my language, but they're completely all in. You know, this isn't the punk rock meme coin that we're used to. You know, this isn't SPX. We're gonna kill all the people that buy SPY. This isn't Bitcoin. We're gonna scam people that are looking for Bitcoin ticker. This is
a 20-year-old guy that took a brand kit developed by a 22-year-old woman, trying to create something that would onboard my mom. And
it worked, and it freaking worked, dude. Because Mr. Miggles is actually got some numbers.
I'll speak highly of Mr. Miggles if I put it in front of my mom and she's willing to onboard to Coinbase to buy it. That, I think, is the litmus test. If you're going to have such a mom-coded token, you need to actually be able to onboard moms, and that's all I'll say about that.
If anyone's got a shot at onboarding your mom, it's got to be Mr. Miggles, because she's going to be coming through Coinbase. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work here. If we're looking here, I just kind of want to point out 2,300 makers, so transactions, unique wallets conducting transactions.
We're talking all this shit, but it's up 600% in the last 2 weeks. So
it's working.
Congrats to all the Miggles early buyers.
Brian
Armstrong. Sanitized.
We know.
Coinbase beta, I think, is a smart buy if Coinbase is going to start listing tokens, I guess, is like the fundamental analysis. But pure vibes alone, it's like, it seems insincere, I guess, is the nicest way that I would put it.
And pure vibes is how you get to several billion-dollar meme coin. I feel like there's a cap for, there's
levels to this shit.
Yeah.
There's levels to this shit. And where are we going to put Miggles on these levels? Where does their vibe place them? Ignore the early people up a lot, you know. Mr. Miggles, where do we think Mr. Miggles belongs on the chart here?
I would argue that it's a solid C.
Ooh. I was going to say the exact same thing.
I would say you know, it's a forced meme, but it could be way worse, you know.
Mr. Miggles.
It looks like we have a Normilio 2.0 in the chat. Update the ticker.
Okay. Spartans on base, only 300 tokens, true beta. All right, Ascendancy Finance. I'll look at it on stream. I'll give you your 5 minutes of fame. But if I'm not pleased, well, you're not going to be pleased with what happens, okay?
Only 300 tokens.
We actually
300. Okay, I kind of like this.
That means that it's going to go up more than if there were.
They were like tokens. Unit bias. No thanks.
Yeah,
dude, I actually really like this because it fits the theme. It says Spartans 300. You know, there's
And
like the
it's
struggling with 300.
$300, dude.
But I
That's
will
smart.
chastise you here, Ascendancy Finance. You front ran the show too soon. We didn't even put you up on the screen yet, and you already dumped, dude. You dumped the whole bag like way too fast, bro. Let's see here.
That's
Never
awesome.
be pleased. Okay, let's see if they got a website. Hopefully
Don't go to the website, dude.
You sure?
Well,
You sure?
okay, go to it.
Fished by Ascendancy Finance right now.
All right.
Awesome.
They're built on base. I like the blue better, but
All
there's
right.
too much text. I can't read this all. What's going on here?
Why Spartans? Why are you set, dude? Like, I don't need to be sold a valueless shitcoin. Just like, I think what Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama, Pikachu, whatever got right is the site was pure schizophrenia. You know, no programmer in sight, too polished.
Yeah, I mean, look at Pump Fun. Like that whole site is literally just it's pure autism. I mean,
I want to be able to look at the website and feel a feeling like I'm looking at a painting. Right? This just looks like WordPress boilerplate. You know, I'm feeling nothing.
Yeah, you know, I think I guess I'm just not really seeing the vision here. So it's like I guess it's like it's leaning kind of almost in this cult thing where there's you buy one, you get to join the committee, one of 300. So there's only 300 seats on it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling this too much. It feels, you know what it reminds me of too much? It reminds me too much of just like a typical like crypto.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a like
they're going to try and confuse me with numbers.
$10,000 of TVL.
Yeah, they're going to try and confuse me with numbers. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to put this in D.
I think conceptually, it at the very least deserves a D or a C, just because 300 tokens, you could tell the guy that cooked that up was like, "Oh, this is going to $1 billion."
I'll be honest, he kind of was cooking with 300 tokens.
He was cooking. I would say though, the website needs just find someone on Fiverr with schizophrenia that's willing, that doesn't know how to code.
Look,
that's going to make you a website.
Yeah, hit me in the DMs. I'll hook you up with someone. For a very reasonable price. I'll only ask for 5 Spartan tokens. Okay, so let's look at one from our list, because we want to get through the ones that our bags. We want to get through our bags first, okay? Elon RWA is one that I've seen a criminal whale post a lot about, so I feel like there might be potential here because they're doing crime on it. If it'll ever load. It'll ever load, dude. What the heck?
The amount of crime associated with this token means that $1 trillion gazillion is programmed.
Yeah, I mean, the more crime associated with your token, here's a little hot tip for you in crypto. If you got the more crime that your token is involved in, the more it's going to pump. You know, Bitcoin, a lot of crime back in the day. So, you know, don't tell your mom that though. Elon RWA. So what do you think about this so far? Let's go to their website. I'm not seeing safe. Let's flip over here. Now, if you're an Elon fanboy, I don't know how you feel about this because it's a very unflattering picture of him. Okay, I like that. Okay. I like that. I like the fade in on me. Wait, there's music. Oh yeah, there's music.
Wow. Like some song.
So the most iconic physical portrait of Elon Musk is now a real-world asset. This iconic drawing by Reddit artist Watchy Boy has been transformed to an RWA.
Is there a way to turn off that music? Because it's drowning you out.
There we go. The most iconic physical portrait of Elon Musk is now a real-world asset. Now, this also reminds me of classic crypto scamming, but kind of in a more wholesome way, because it reminds me of when everyone would be like, "Whoa."
Do they actually own the picture?
I don't know. Let's see. He immediately so one guy claims to have purchased it and immediately tokenized it.
And they purchased so this is a derivative of a derivative of a derivative.
I suppose so. They brought a derivative of the physical asset. So see, he has the original here, August 19th.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, I kind of like this.
All right.
This is like a good counter, this is like a good trade. Like, you know, if you want to get some of that Elon.
This project has fundamentals, is what you're trying to say.
This is what I'm saying. Like this, see, you buy the Doge ones if you want to be like a real Elon fanboy. You buy Grok or something stupid like that. But you buy this one if you want to be a little, you know, contrarian, and you're like, I think this guy's a bit of a dork. That's how I'm feeling about it. Okay.
That's funny. All right. That's pretty funny. I came in here wanting to hate on this, but that's kind of funny.
All right, Charles. How do you feel about it? You feeling positive? Feeling negative?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, but I think that's what it takes. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, and
I think what they have is they have focus.
They have clarity of vision.
Fundamentals. So it's like, here's the one thing. We're not gonna pretend to be a cult. We're not gonna pretend to be anything. We have this funny picture somehow in our possession by some convoluted chain of custody, and I think that's like I would say it certainly doesn't have the upside potential of a cult, but it is at least pretty funny. And pretty funny is way better than the norm with meme coins. Usually it's like embarrassing. So
true, very true. If you can actually make me laugh and smile with a meme coin, well, you did your job as far as I'm concerned. The making me money is just icing on the cake. Now, to Normilio fellow who is spamming these links, I can't copy and paste these links through StreamYard. So if you could do me a favor, if you really want me to look at them, go ahead and @codex.org in that tweet, and then I can see it. I'll be able to pull it up. And then
Carl,
I'll give you the
I'll
free
send it to you.
publicity. Okay.
I'll send it to you. I don't know why you can't copy paste. That's weird.
When I click it, it just puts it on the screen, you know. That doesn't help anybody.
Yeah,
it doesn't help a goddamn person, does it? All right. So Elon RWA, where are we putting this sucker, huh?
I would say that's like a B+ or an A.
I'm feeling like it's B+ or A too. I'm feeling, you know what? I'll even give it an A so far. Maybe we'll move it later. What do you think, Charles? You think you want to demote it?
No, A's all right. A's all right.
Maybe B. Let's do B+.
Yeah,
let's do B+. I think it's like the subject matter. You know, I'm not rolling on the floor. You know, and in terms of like pure value, I would say definitely capped. I can't imagine a community worth anything coalescing around this. It's just like, I'm gonna buy this funny thing for a week.
You obviously missed how they're building a wall along the road to the Tesla facility in Texas of this image. So
like stuff like that. I don't like the Elon
just
trope,
like they're putting the width on the Vegas sphere, because you know, meme coin speculators have the conviction and time horizons to do grand gestures like that.
Oh yeah, Ansem has enough time to go and meet the people he needs to meet and do the meetings he needs to do to put the whiff on the sphere, right? He's got the money at least. Anyway, enough shitting on Ansem. Well, let's continue this train here. Do we want, which one are we going next? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's try dogging me, because I've
all right, dogging me
invested the community, but I haven't even ever been on their website.
Dogging me again. This name.
The vibe I get from dogging me is like it's just all sports gamblers, and it's like guys who really love sports.
My problem with this,
they're going after the frat. This is the frat boy meme coin. They're going after the beefcakes in frats across the U.S.
Well,
and that's a market.
How do you know that, Charles? You seem to have that information
because
so easily.
those are the people who say got that dog in me.
That's true.
Well,
even if
see, my problem with this here, okay, it's like if you're an internet native, I've seen a lot of memes that are not like that. Okay, you know, I got that dog in me is a meme, but there's a lot of nastier things going on out here. All right, I hate it, dude. I hate it. It's too long. Anyway,
the Tigger sucks.
I think the mascot is ridiculous.
All right, so we got a chart here. It looks like a chart, so they know how to integrate with Dex Screener. That's good. Let's check out their page here. Again, this ugly ass blue, and it's everywhere. My problem with this is like the blue this is the same exact blue I think that you get in paint if you just hit blue, you know? Anyway, you got that dog in you?
They got that default blue.
I got that dog in me. Okay, he's like Uncle Tom about the dog in me. Dude, he's a dog and he's got more dogs in him. Were established when a Farcaster user inquired if Dan Romero, DWR, the founder of the decentralized social media platform, owned a dog. DWR replied affirmatively, no, but I got that
this
dog
is a zero
in me.
then. This is the cringe like glaze coins. I don't fuck with those at all. And of course they have. Okay, dude, this is like, and he's got a freaking erection.
I didn't even realize that. So set up a crypto. So they're onboarding people to base.
Interesting.
Which we already said is kind of like, I mean, I think that seems to be the least of your worries when you're on base because they're going to do it for you. But let's see what else they got. A generator and they got some memes. They also have
Let's
a bridge.
check out their memes. Let's check out their memes.
Their meme board here. Okay.
Wow.
It's a pretty standard.
What?
Yeah.
Just swaps. I don't know what Mike. Oh, because Michael Jordan. Oh, you can buy these. You can mint them in case you ever wanted the Scarface dog and me meme. We're trying as hard as we can to turn the blockchain as fast as we can into a flea market where you can buy, prints of Rick and Morty smoking weed. And
I'm actually going to buy a few of these for my wife.
You should give her this one. She'll totally get it, I like this one.
She'll be so happy.
Let me look at the numbers of this guy again.
I'm going to work really late and then I'm going to show up. Well, I work from home, so that doesn't work as well. But imagine me showing up to the door and I'm just showing her my phone like, I'm sorry I'm late, baby. Look what I got you. And it's just a dog and me.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. So you can put this X-ray with dogs.
Yeah, it looks like it. And then I can shrink it. All right, whatever. All right, at least they got a maker. Charles is exhausted with us. Let's move back on over this. We're way over
Whenever
time.
we do the meme coin ratings, we go over time because it's just too exciting.
It's too fun. I mean, let's just hurry up and move through this. We're going to lightning around these here. So dog and me, Charles.
Dog and me, that's an F.
Giving an F.
Bad vibes. Bad vibes. I don't like it. It's lazy.
Save this guy.
You
gonna move him out of here, Beavis, or what? What do you got?
Well, I mean, I think it maybe is a D because the thing is like being like a coin born from glazing with the mission to glaze. I feel, it's like frat bros glazing people that are richer than them. They probably are just entering the job market. They idolize these founder types and want to get rich, strike it big. And I like just to imagine a locker room full of guys that don't have a creative bone in their body coming up with a meme coin project. And I just imagine dog and me. And that in and of itself, I think is a little beautiful when you think about it. As it's a pure, unadulterated expression of a totally uncreative frat bro type person. Which I used to be an outsider art enjoyer. I can appreciate that, but I'm fine with an F or a D. We don't need to get too meta with this.
You kind of really sold me on it a little bit there. It is kind of true. It's kind of beautiful. It's like when like the quarterback, he broke his leg, and so he's trying to find out how to kill time. So he's playing around on the computer. He's like, wow, this stuff's kind of fun. I kind of like this culture. How do I? He's an outsider to the outsider culture. You know what I mean? So he's trying to get in. Well, dog and me. Keep up the good work. Who knows? Maybe you might climb up the hierarchy a little bit later when we return to this chart. But moving on,
I think we should skip 2 and do the last one, which we got to do Normilio because of the heat that's in the chat. I mean, KeyCat, people know what it is. We're just
KeyCat. Let's just straight up. Let's rate it it's a solid B.
Yeah,
it's a somewhat forced meme. And I don't know if they're necessarily putting enough respect on KeyCat's name I maybe need to see some donations to the Keycat family, who are probably still in mourning. And maybe I'll write that up a little bit.
All right.
And you want to knock out Brett real quick as well?
Yeah, I mean, if you're on base, Brett, right? There's another Glazer token, isn't
$1.6
it?
billion. It's like
This is a Glaze
dude,
coin.
Pepe's brother. It's all prop firms. You're not going to make money on this. It's literally just like, so someone was like, oh, we're just going to have the biggest meme on base, and had enough rich friends and market makers to make it happen. So I think that's a pretty easy D or F. I haven't done a lot of research into Brett. It doesn't look like there's a lot of upside. I welcome any Brett community member to flame me and explain to me why it's the future of finance. But it just looks like a market maker circle jerk for now.
Charles?
Agree? Nothing to add.
D?
I totally agree.
I think
that's this token that has made millionaires. Okay. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Has it made millionaires?
I don't know.
It's made millionaires an extra million. It hasn't made anyone.
It's made a guy with he created a new Caymans Foundation entity, and it made that entity a million.
I just wanted you to see that.
That's just upsetting.
Yeah, I just wanted you to see that because I had to see it. This is what Brett is all about. It's all about licking you. All disgusting. Like, okay, so enough of Brett. Finally, let's go to Normilio.
Is that a DWF Labs coin?
So
that was a really sick joke. I'm sorry.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. I was sent this Normilio post, which is classic Milady style. It's a lot of text. It's a lot of referencing, quote unquote esoteric knowledge. I mean, it's just Sigmund Freud, but they're rambling about him here, and then tying it into their token here at the bottom, which I do like. I do like this schizo stuff. I really do. I really appreciate the effort they put into it, the creative writing. I like this video here, using the ugly blue, but probably in a nicer way, a little bit more creative, and it's working. Still don't know much about the token because I didn't read that long post. I'm not going to. We don't have enough time. But
yeah, I think it's all about using lore as kind of like almost a sales mechanism, wherein if you can fabricate lore, you can fabricate conspiracy or whatever deep enough to create a sticky buyer, then great. You have the beginnings of potentially a very sticky ecosystem. I think for now to give you some, I've joined this cult. I'm, investigating and trying to wrap my head around it. Basically, there was a very corporate entity doing what every other base coin was doing, trying to become the corpo base coin, and they were being Milady coded, and they were trying to go after the Milady audience, and they produced works of art so foul that they're practically unmentionable. And so there was an uprising from kind of the core, like people with real schizophrenia instead of LARPs, rising up and trying to reclaim its cultural roots, being the Milady cultural roots, the neo-chibi, NYC cool kid, dime street hipster aesthetic. So I would say they're in a path of discovery right now, and I think that's what excites me about them. They have real people that are really invested in the success here, and it's a little less cringe to look at than the others. And I think things that are schizo coded are generally just better, in my opinion.
I agree. It kind of fits more with the internet native kind of thing.
It's like you can tell these people have been here, and that's, I think, what's important. It's like it's not a tourist, and in its original implementation, it seemed like a venue for tourism as opposed to a real community, and it's since evolved into a real community. And despite my bias, I think I would rate it right now an A. And I would say my goal is to help them become an S.
Okay. Charles, any particularly strong feelings about Normilio? I know this kind of stuff isn't really your bag.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like an outsider with these like uber schizo communities, but I get a sense of, I don't know, they obviously like work really hard and do something unique, and that's what I like. It's not, yeah, it's just it's very much outside of the box, and I appreciate that. So I'd like to poke my head around and see, kind of try to understand the lore more. But definitely not part of my wheelhouse.
We need
so yeah, I
we need
appreciate it.
to put a bag of helium and DMT on Charles's head for 24 hours until he gets schizophrenia.
We got to awaken Charles's, chakras here. No, I think from what I was seeing, Normilio definitely an A. Beavis obviously has his bias. I'm kind of biased towards Milady style tokens myself. I like the vibe because it does kind of remind me a little bit more.
It's like you can hate on Dime Street hipsters all you want. But at the end of the day, it's like, they like the same stuff we like. They just take it a little far. And I think, what is the internet about besides taking things a little bit far?
A little too far. A little too far beyond our comfort zone. So I think I want to do this again. I feel like we didn't give this maybe enough of these memes, enough airtime, enough talk, enough I want to say not introspection. We didn't look at them long enough. We didn't do enough analysis on them. But I think these are from what we saw. This is how I feel. I feel like this is pretty accurate. Now, maybe next week we'll do it again. So if you're watching this, you got some more meme coins you want us to check out, go ahead and drop them in the replies to either the YouTube video or the X post, or if you're in our Discord, you could just at me, spam them.
I look forward to the first S tier meme coin community on base. I think it will signify significant maturity. And S tier to me, SPX 6900, Mog, Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama, Inu. I can't really think. I'm sure there are more. Those are the three that come to mind. And obviously distribution, liquidity, interest, community. And you need to develop an identity that someone can look at and identify with, laugh with. And I think we don't see that on base yet. And I don't know if we're necessarily close. So I look forward to kind of growing along with this ecosystem, and hopefully we can see some maturity coming along.
What we should do is pick like 2 each week, maybe 1 or 2, and we can spend a lot more time on it. I know it's kind of nice ranking them all against each other, but it is pretty time consuming looking at all these memes. And I'm also sad because we didn't get really a chance to tie together the base and meme discussion we've had with Make Fun, because that's what I want to talk about. Because
and Big Tony. Oh gosh.
Big Tony, they could be the ticket to base generating some real S tier memes. So maybe we'll save that for next week, I guess.
We'll have to do a part 2. And I like that idea. Maybe we can do a running list. We'll add to it each week. Well, so sorry guys, we're running out of time here. I'll just do a very quick community roundup. Shout out to Pepper Does Crypto, the Grand Tonto, and Timmy Turns. They'll be retweeting all your stuff from the Codex account.
The big three.
The big three.
The dream team.
And let's do our spin very quickly here. We'll do it as fast as possible, because I know you guys have places to be, but the people need their point.
This was the first time we've gone way over time.
Yeah,
I know. I
was
for it.
We're so passionate about me.
I was so proud of myself. New name for running a tight ship. And now, all right, so we're gonna remove Pantao. Oh, he's on there twice. Never mind. Too late. Oh, Jessit. Congratulations, Pantal Jesset. And finally, our last spin of the night.
Thank you to the troopers who've stuck with us all this time.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
so much.
Silver Chronos. This is like his
Once
third
again.
time winning. Good job.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching Cyber Strategy in the audience.
I want to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you all for those watching the Discord who got to participate in the wheel spin, which if you didn't know, they were winning a lot of Codex points, okay? So if you're watching this, you want to get some Codex points, be sure to watch from the Discord next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. We'll see you there next week. We'll continue this meme expedition, this exploration of base, and we're going to tie it all together. Like Charles said, how does Codex fit in all this? Is probably what you're wondering. Well, we're the missing jigsaw piece, baby. So be sure to follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, and then join the Discord so you can stay on top of what's all going on, because you probably already know what's coming up next week if you're following us. All right. Adios, team. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Got that CDX token, we the ones chosen. Every stake, every yield, while I stay golden. Codex Club, AI my focus, it's an anthem. CEX got them frozen.